This video is an update on if you could remember, recently South Africa went uproar due to the rape of a 7-year-old girl. This video is to address the updates which has come up.
When a child come home and said I'm raped, are you supposed to say, okay, my child, you're gonna be fine? How is the child gonna be healed or be fine with a rape? We are not talking of a child that fell down. We are talking of rape, penetration that enter in the child's back. Where are we gonna go? Where are we going with this? You know, for us to move forward, if this case didn't go further as we are doing, we will know that it's really South African justice system. We know that it has failed us, but this is gonna prove that we are nothing because of we are black. Our color is what is making us every day to go down and down and down. This is gonna have to stop. We can't keep our kids under our armpit. We want them to go to school and study. A white child has never experienced this. If it was a white child by now, Sipho, Tutuzeli, their names were gonna be all over social medias. Their picture were gonna be all over social medias. How is Mama Cwecwe surviving every time when the child's supposed to play is gonna tell that, Mommy, let these kids chase me. I know they are boys, they've got power more than me. They can do what they want to do. The child is traumatized. He cannot play. The woman lost an unborn baby because of this. Where are we going? Where are we going?
Now, the police has issued a mind-boggling results after testing the DNA. In this video, I'm going to give you all of that and breakdown, plus contradictions in the report that the police are giving, which is leaving South Africans with a lot of doubt, with many even saying that, in fact, they don't think that the DNA samples were actually tested.
Actually, the DNA principal was never taken.
Bullshit! If it is the first time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the video. So the South African police held a press conference, and in the press conference, they revealed that
it was identified that there are people that they could bring closer, and the DNA of these three has been taken, and it will be analyzed. So they are not suspects, they are people of interest.
Medical records do indeed confirm that this young girl was raped last year. But more disturbing, Aldrin, was that according to the minister, on what they were seen or were told from the doctor's reports, was that the incident that occurred last year may actually not be the first time this little girl was actually violated. There is a great deal of anticipation, not only here in Matatiele, but also nationwide, because this is the case, Aldrin, that has left the country perturbed.
it is confirmed that there was a rape. Indeed, Cwecwe was raped. However, DNA samples taken from the three people, the caretaker, the driver, and the principal, Jacob Peterson, who was eyed because of public interest, does complicate not finding immediate connection to the rapist. And they say that this was according to a forensic data. They also revealed that there were no evidences to actually prove that somebody actually raped Cwecwe. Now, the second update is that the Eastern Cape Department of Education also issued a deregistration to close Bergview Primary School. This was after when the principal was not cooperating with investigations. But as we stand now, the school put out an urgent application to have the school reopened. And so, their request went through and the school has been opened. And so, the school is functioning as normal. Now, another surprising turn of events that the public were also, requesting was that the father of Cwecwe, also his DNA should also be taken and also be tested. This is because he was the one who discovered that Cwecwe was actually raped. And anything is possible. Anything is possible. And so, but however, the police ruled that out. They have not been able to take Cwecwe's father's DNA. And that is also another challenge for South Africans. Now, the third one is that forensic analysts did not obtain any DNA with the clothes or the body of Cwecwe. This may be so because of the following reasons. One, the offender did not leave any traceable biological evidence for them to even unravel the truth. Two, biological materials were washed or cleaned before collection, and this may be due to the delay in time, bathing, washing, etc. And finally, the testing or the sampling procedure might have been incorrect or too late to preserve the living evidence. So any of this could have been the reasons why the DNA could not match with all the three evidences. I mean, it could also be possible that, the person, the real culprit, has not yet been found. Now, when this came out, South Africans are really surprised, and some even think that Jaco Peterson DNA was never taken at all.
DNA principal was never taken.
Bullshit!
Utata Cwecwe then advised us into yokuba le case njengoba i-statement nje makuzanywe into yokuba makuthathwe i-DNA test kuwo wonke amadoda that were in contact nomntwana on Monday and Tuesday. Wathi ke uzawuba ngowokuqala ukuyithatha leyo DNA. U-MEC Gade ebelapha last week nge-31st uvelile ngose-TV ukuba uyasideregister isikolo, when actual fact they were clearing issues that the Department of Education naye engakhange awenza umsebenzi. But then before kulungiswe le nto, he decided to say unikeza notice to deregister the school. A week later, the MEC rescinds that decision. Uthi ke ebefuna uprincipal ahambe ayothatha i-DNA. Uminister uyavela uthi i-DNA zika-principal zithathiwe. Mhlawumbe bebefuna ukuba i-voices, because the country was like, only yesterday when a brigadier and station unit commander told Mama Cwecwe about actually the DNA principal was never taken.
Bullshit!
Now, Brigadier Atlenda, who is the SAPS spokesperson, had an interview with the South African Broadcasting Corporation and explained, but this rather complicated issue.
The police minister, Senzo Mchunu, gave a media briefing, about the well-known case of the rape of a 7-year-old girl from Bergview College in Matatiele in the Eastern Cape. So according to Mchunu, samples taken from the 7-year-old child were subjected to DNA testing, and the victim did not contain any foreign DNA. I'm talking about the 7-year-old girl now. So 3 people of interest have subsequently surfaced, he added, and additional DNA testing was or is being conducted. I want to speak to Brigadier Atlenda Matatiele now. There seems to be some confusion about what exactly the police minister said there. Whose DNA was taken? Was their DNA taken? Was it compared to the DNA of the 7-year-old child? Atlenda Matatiele, thank you very much indeed for joining us here on SABC News this morning. All right, so what is the story here? Was there any DNA taken from these persons of interest, and was it compared to the DNA of the 7-year-old girl?
I can confirm that DNA was taken from the child, and as rightly indicated by the minister on Friday, there was no foreign DNA, meaning no one else's DNA was found on the child during analysis, right? During investigations. But we did, what the minister did confirm is that there were persons of interest that were identified, and their DNA and buccal samples were taken in terms of utilizing them in our investigation. So let me firstly indicate that in all Schedule 8 offences, murder, rape, and serious and violent crimes, it is a norm and it is a standard procedure that the police, if you are identified as a possible suspect, your DNA must be taken so that we can rule out the possibility of you being a suspect in the case, or to confirm that this DNA does place you on a crime scene.
But if that is the case, then why did they collect the DNAs?
Was there a comparison made between the samples of the persons of interest that were taken and the little girl? I think that's where we need the clarification there.
So if we did not find DNA on the victim. It does not mean we should not take DNA from those that were seen around the child or those that have been identified as persons of interest. DNA and buccal samples assist us greatly in investigations, even though they would not necessarily be utilized to solve this particular case. They can, if put into the database of our DNA database, they can possibly help us to get a profile of a certain person, and perhaps even in some cases assist us to identify suspects in other crimes that have been committed elsewhere. So it's not necessarily to say let us compare it to this child, because Minister did confirm that no DNA was found. But it could be that DNA that we collect, it can unravel and help us solve other crimes in our investigation.
Yes. I fully agree with you there, Brigadier, that, once buccal samples or DNA is taken from someone, you could possibly look at other cases if those individuals or persons of interest may be involved in other cases. But my question is, from the DNA that was taken from the 3 persons of interest, I hear you when you say that no foreign DNA was found when a sample was taken from the little girl. Was there a comparison made from the 3 people of interest to the DNA of the little girl? Has that been done? Yes, I know that you are going to look at other cases as well. I'm speaking specifically about this case.
In relation to this particular case, the comparison, there was no need for a comparison, first of all, because there was no DNA found on the child. But the importance of taking DNA from the identified suspects is to assist us in investigations, because even though DNA was not found on the child, you might find that DNA can hit a positive link on other cases and help us to find maybe a possible murder suspect that has been on a run, a possible serial rapist that has been on the run, and so on. So it can assist us at a later stage on this particular case. But at this stage, there has not been a link to the child's case. But investigations are still continuing. We still have a long way to go. We are quite confident that as investigations continue, we will be led in the right direction, and eventually we will get justice for the child.
What is your take of the story? Do you believe the SAPS police, or do you think there has been a matter of justice? Don't forget to leave your comments right in the video.